Oh, it turns out that it is time. It's time for a little bit of a look over my roster. Coming up now, we are coming up now to nearly 3 years deep into this game as free to play. Performing at the highest level in the game, which is probably the best we can do. But that being said, this is kind of like what the top of my roster looks like. We do have, like, my first ever tier 9 was Ursula. The second ever was Ralph. And then I've only just recently taken Hercules up and done a big blast after I had all my Sorcerers Chosen up, because I needed to prioritize the mythical gear for getting Sorcerers Chosen characters up for completing the raid. Once I had enough of those, then I could turn my focus to other things. So there are a few priorities that I had. First of all, new raid meant Sorcerers Chosen, top of the list, most important. When I was done with that, it was get some characters up to make sure I can be competitive, to make sure I can get to the top of my ST board. When I could do that, that's why I got the likes of Ursula and then the likes of Ralph. I got them up, and I chose those two because I originally wanted to get my mythicals. I wanted to get my Hades, my Panic and Pain, and the likes all right on up there and have them as my first tier 9s. But with the whole introduction of Sorcerers Chosen, I needed to save on my mythical gear. So what I did, I went and got the speed gear on Panic and Pain just to make them usable, and so I can maximize their use. They only need to be fast to get them turns so that they can stasis, so they can beat down on other teams and use them the way that you want to use them. And so that's what I did. And then everyone else can just go ahead and be used. So I went down that route. But so for my Sorcerers Chosen, I went and prioritized them, and then after doing that, got my main couple of characters up that I could build teams around that had multiple uses. So that's why I went for Ursula, because she also wasn't a kingdom. She also wasn't she wasn't mythical. That means I was getting that gear coming in, and I had an excess of that gear, so it was easy just to put the few tier 9 pieces on her, while I was then trying to get tier 8 everybody else's. That was important for Sorcerer's Chosen and for Maleficent's crew. So that was the priority. And then once that has been done, as you can see, I've started reaching out and doing other characters. So I started to get Dr. Facilia up. We started to work on a whole bunch of supports. I've always been big on supports, and I always will be big on support characters. Is that if you're doing characters up, they generally need the least gear. You just need to get their speed up, and it's just so you can use them and use their kits. So Dr. Facilia I did up, and as you can see, Miguel and Panic and Pain, I did them up so I could run teams to have a few of these core characters at lower gear, but getting maximum kit output, to making the most of their output. So I ran a lot of control teams with Ursula, with Panic and Pain, and then when I got Maleficent, used Maleficent, but you can also use it without her with Dr. F and a few other things. So there's other characters you can run in all these things to get the same effects. And then I found out I had lots of Spear Wilds gear, so I was like, okay, I want to get Pocahontas up so I can maximize her lead, I can maximize her cleansing and her buffs, and that's all you need. I don't need her to be doing anything else. So I got all these types of characters up to help my main characters and team building, so I can have more options for more game modes. And her, especially for Pocahontas, as like a wilds person, something that I was lacking is at high level was cleansing. And Colors of the Wind, Pocahontas' cleanse is huge. It's amazing in raids, it's amazing in PvP. Full team cleanse, send all that damage to one person with the amount of bad effects we're all taking. This was a big help. And just her kit definitely helped a lot. And then when I got Ralph up, it was just like a nice little 2-man combo team that I could just slot into others. Then Scrooge has been a recent addition, so after I got Ralph up, I've just had all my kingdom, my downtown hero gear just sitting around, and Scrooge has always been my favourite, and I've always made some content with Scrooge, and I was just been like, you know what, I want to get back to this Scrooge, so I want to get back to team building and doing all these fun teams. That is what I want to do. So that's why he was just more of a fun character. So now that I've got my core group, I've got a few different variants that I can use in different game modes to always make sure I'm at the top. Then it was time to do Scrooge. He was just like, he came in. I did like put a couple of gear pieces on these other characters at first. I put Mickey's speed piece on before the whole Maleficent came about. And then after Maleficent, like, I always planned on him being like one of my first tier 9s just because how OP the Mickey lead crew is on defense. But then as soon as she shut that down, I was kind of like, okay, there's no point investing all that gear into that. So I spread a few gear pieces around. I got Zeus right up after I got Zeus just because like how epic he is like, I've got to get him up there. So he was my next priority for my mythicals, and I've only just now switched my priorities since they started playing around with Zeus's kit and doing shadow nerfs, shadow testing. Like, the devs are trying to find a way out to stop the Zeus loop, I believe. That being said, I'm like, okay, I want to go and finish off my other characters first before, like, he's a support, he is there doing what he needs to do. Sure, he's got big damage output, but he's going to have that anyway. I don't need the last pieces of gear for that. I would rather now finish off my Hades and the like. So those are all the considerations I have. So pretty much it's like maximize your game modes. Raid is huge because Raid's going to take you further, get you more gear to get you upgrading more characters. Then for me it was get Maleficent. She is such a big impactful character. Get her at tier 5 minimum, and then you can always move on from there. I used her from tier star, 5-star. So it is definitely a chance and worth it to do that. So I would definitely recommend that. And then after that is just like, make sure you got your top team for making the most of PvP and ST modes. And if you have a team to do that, then you can start branching out to other characters that can then plug and play into all of those teams, and then to move on to characters that you just enjoy, that you can enjoy. That's pretty much. At Gear Tier 8, Gear Tier 9, Gear Tier 8 with the speed plus Gear Tier 9, a lot of characters are a lot more viable, and so you can actually just go for characters that you enjoy and characters that you want. And I'm anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge Scrooge fan. And if you're not, go and check out some of my old Scrooge videos on YouTube. Go and look them up because those were some of my favorites. So that has been what my priority is. Now I'm just kind of holding gear, just seeing what happens. As you can see, I can upgrade some more downtown heroes. I did Demona because the Gargoyles Tower is a killer. It is a killer. When you don't have like the likes of Frank and Lily and the other good wilds adventurers, when you're struggling with adventurers, it is a struggle to get to the end of that tower. And so I struggle my way through with like Jack Sparrow and Moana and Bali. Moana and Bali are like no-brainers, but that was the case. I've only just recently taken Monty up so I could complete Freya's event. Because as you can see, my other adventures are all kind of lacking. Lily will be there soon, and when she does, she'll probably be the next one up. But outside of that, I've got gear sitting there, waiting, so we should be fine. We should be fine with all that. And then this guy is a beast. But I'm just gonna passively just keep getting his from daily logins, from PvP chests, from those things, and then from the club explorations. He is gonna be like 5-star soon. Then he's gonna slowly make his way up to 6 and 7. So when he gets up to there, he's just gonna slowly make his way up, and he is an absolute beast. So as soon as he gets up to like 6-7-star, he is definitely gonna be a priority. Straight to tier 8 play with speed. People with tier 9 ones, just absolutely slay. Like Crixus, welcome in Crixus, nice to see you. Like Crixus was one of the ones that just jumped in straight away. Hero lead, as he is tech, hero lead boosts him, and it's like he gets full team wipes because he is tech. Get the offense up, and he's an offense character. Like he is absolutely nuts. He is absolutely nuts. So those are kind of my priorities and how I would recommend moving forward with going towards gear tier 9s. And I'd say honestly, for anyone who's struggling free to play or anyone who is just maximizing, just get your core few up to tier 9 that are going to carry you through the most game modes, and then get your other characters that can support them the most, and then build around that for different, that can give you different things. Like have your cleansers, have your controllers, have your whatever else that you need, your speed givers or your other bonuses. And like if you can build that around them, like that can carry you in game modes and just help you win. Get the max rewards, and then when you have the max rewards, then you can start moving up to more and more characters. But for the likes of Milo, like up here we go, I've still got to do my climb, so I'm not gonna start doing this. But Royal Ant, like he is running, he changes his team up a bit, but he's running like Damage Stone Milo, like that right there is like a full wipe. That right there, he can like full wipe teams. I can get around it, and I know ways around to get around it, but he is good in so many modes as well, so he is going to be killing it. But hopefully that helps with a bit of a look of priorities to tier 9 and what to do. But I will give you guys a little sneak peek, just a little browse down through my roster. Like I've got a good amount at tier 8 now, and then I've got a big chunk, about 20 plus characters tier 7, and then like my little bottom end like of the last few characters that I don't really need to at tier 6. I do want to get, I'd love to get some of these up, but it's just like there is still a big weight and roadblock at tier 7, and as soon as I get like probably another star or so, I'll probably be taking Tiana up. She is another one who's usable from low stars, so she is definitely worth it if you want to go down that way. She can easily use her from a 5-star. She can do her thing and she's nuts. But then other than that, like I've maxed out pretty much all the character stars except for the most recent new characters, pretty much like Mike, Eve, and these few here, and everybody else like that is max stars. And now it's just gonna be chipping away at these ones, slowly get their gear up. There's no point gearing characters up unless you need it for an event, or unless you can utilize them, unless they're characters that you can utilize in your matches. So that is my goal, my aim. Not too bad, try and unlock as much as I can, so I'm always ready for Sorcerer Showdowns, because as long as you can have them unlocked, you can get to the top, you can build teams, and you can slay, get more rewards, increase more characters, and then it's just follow on. So hopefully that helps, and let us know how you guys are going with your rosters and choices to tier 9 down below.